Okay, part 2. I loved the whole dream, but this part, it got to me. The first part got to me. This part got to me too. So we get through that cross section. If you haven't seen part 1, go watch part 1. We get through that cross section. And I told you I was like 3 different ways to go, and I was like, none of these look good, like, you know. And I don't know which way we ended up going with Katie, but nothing got me, nothing harmed me. All of a sudden, we're on a plane with a lot of people, and it's another moment where I'm like, what are we doing? I'm not even sure how we're going to get out of this, right? And before I could think too much, tell me why we done jumped out this plane. The man went first, Katie followed behind him. I'm attached to Katie. We out the plane. We falling, and I'm thinking, I would never jump out of a plane, and yet I'm falling out of a plane. I just jumped out of a plane. I really didn't have time to overthink, and if y'all are somebody like me, you struggle with that. Like, that's how I am. So when I woke up and I was reflecting on this part of the dream specifically, I was like, it was given like, you know, jump master. And y'all know my dad is retired military, and I remember going to different things. I remember when he was in jump master school. I remember all that. I like when he tells the stories about different things, and even when he tells stories, I'm like, ain't no way in the world I would have been out here jumping out of the plane, right? But I wanted to read to y'all what a jump master is. A jump master is the expert paratroopers in an airborne unit who train and teach the military techniques for jumping from airplanes. And in order to become a jump master, you have to have a certain number of jumps, certain type of jumps, all that. Like, I remember all this from when I was growing up, okay? Again, I ain't no thrill seeker. Like, I ain't never wanted to bungee jump, do nothing like that. Like, who? And so God was showing me the parallel between that and the military. And you have to be a certain rank to even do jump master duties. But between that and the military in our lives. And so again, the last 2-3 years, it's been like, I don't know. But when you follow the Holy Spirit, that's what happened. It's a whole lot of go. I didn't even have time to think about it in a dream. Like, it was like, let's go. And we just jumped out of the plane. And a lot of times people allow fear, because why would I jump out of a plane? Like, in real life, I don't see me doing that, right? But we allow fear to hold us back, and we allow fear from keeping us from truly following the Holy Spirit wherever this Holy Spirit may be taking us. So everybody isn't a jump master, because everybody's not in the military. But then everybody who is in the military, or even in the Army specifically, you're not in an airborne unit, okay? So this might not be for everybody. But what I do know is, when I recall jumping, which was nearly 2 years ago, and it was in faith, and it was following the Holy Spirit, my life has been changed ever since then. And in that moment, I wasn't moving out of fear. It was like a Holy Spirit YOLO, and that's kind of where we're at, a Holy Spirit-led YOLO. Are you going to be able to jump in those moments? Are you going to recognize your window of opportunity to jump, to go and to do it by the Holy Spirit's promptings? Like I said, I didn't have time to overthink. By the time I was thinking, like, what we doing on the plane, we was already jumping out the plane. And I'm attached to Katie, and Katie's following this man. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Holy Spirit led. And that's another thing when I'm saying Katie's name means pure and clean. Our hearts can very much so be deceitful if they're not surrendered to God. Okay? But there are some moments and some things and some times where you can wholeheartedly jump and follow your heart, because your heart is surrendered, because your heart is following after the Holy Spirit. And I know the last time I felt like this, 2 years ago, my life has never been the same. Like, okay, that's not true. When it was time to do coaching, I felt like that too. Like, it's now or never. Now or never. You either gonna do it or you're not gonna do it, right? But the timing even of that was like, is now the time to do that? But had I overthought it, I would have missed what God was trying to do for me and how he was trying to change my life. And you might not see it in an instant, because I got to tell you what happens after we jumped out of the plane, right? You might not see it as soon as you jump. But you got to trust and believe that he had you jump for a reason. I hear Fat saying, don't be scared, in one of them songs her and Toby got. But I didn't have time to be scared. And you don't, because the Holy Spirit doesn't give you a spirit of fear. Power, love, and a sound mind. And fear is what makes us overthink, have anxiety. I didn't even have time because I was so obedient and following the Holy Spirit. Like, go. When he say go, he's saying stay ready. You don't have time to overthink or be scary. I would never jump out of a plane, or so I thought. Okay, but on the flip side of this, jump masters, they also train other people to do that. And like I said, I feel like I've been doing that with coaching. Like, let me show you how I'm having all this breakthrough. It's because I'm jumping when he say jump. It's because I'm going when he say go, and I'm doing what he say do. That's why. Okay, so let me see if there's anything else. I think I hit all the stuff that was like a parallel. But Katie had your girl jumping out of a plane. All right, pure and clean heart and intentions had me jumping out of a plane and jumping out of this plane. Jumping out of these planes, jumping off these cliffs, whatever. I'll teach you to fly before you fall. It has changed my life. Don't be the person who allows fear to keep them from jumping in life, in faith. That's the difference between people who experience and who don't experience. That's the difference between people who do and who don't. Okay? Don't be that person. This tab says, how is a jump master selected? Says by their character. You know the Army stresses that a lot. I was in JROTC if y'all didn't know that. So, all right, let me stop. Let's do part 3 real quick. But for some of y'all, it's just time to jump. For some of y'all, you're becoming a jump master. You got to jump so you can teach other people how to jump. Jump Master School trains personnel in the skills necessary to jump master a combat-equipped jump, okay? Because it's still a battle out here. And the proper attaching, jumping, and release of combat and individual equipment. That's a whole word. What you're supposed to be attached to, what's supposed to be attached to you, the actual art, the form in the jump, and what you need to release. The parachute, all of it. What happened in case of emergency, all of that. Okay? So, y'all can look into that some more, but look what Katie got us out here doing.